GG Jackson from Memphis, 36% rostered. Here's the story. Okay. He was the number 1 ranked player in the 2023 high school class. He reclassified to 2022 and played at South Carolina last year. He sucked. He was terrible. He scored 15 points a game on 38, 32, 68 shooting. He had more than twice as many turnovers to assists, 2.7 turnovers to 0.8 assists. Terrible. He dropped to the 45th pick in the draft this year and signed a 2-way deal. So he's been playing in the G League. Okay. And he was fine. 50% shooting, 19 points a game, and 6 appearances. But then, Coach Taylor Jenkins is like, hey, look, everybody on this team is hurt. We have no playmakers. The one thing GG Jackson does is he puts the ball in the basket, or at least is able to get the ball in the air towards the basket. So he played him 27 minutes. He scored 20 points, 6 rebounds. Played him 29 minutes the next game, 23 points, 6 rebounds. Great. Good efficiency. Shocking. Last game, yesterday against Minnesota, tough matchup. 10 minutes for GG Jackson, 1.3 rebounds, over 3, not foul trouble. He had 2 fouls. What do you make of this?
Versus the best defense in the league.
Sure. What do you make of this? I have no idea. Look, one of these games, John Conchar did not play. He was just a DMP. Very bizarre. The next game, I think it was Aldama. One of the other games, Aldama was out. Okay. So my caveat with this is, look, Memphis has 4 games next week. So if you pick him up and he sees like 15 minutes, it's not going to be great, but it's not going to be like the end of your fantasy team. I would just see what happens tomorrow. Memphis plays Chicago. If GG Jackson plays 10, 12, 13 minutes again, I'm just out. Look, this guy, again, 38% shooting in college, 2.7 turnovers, 0.8 assists. If he plays 13 minutes a game, I'm just out. If he plays 25 minutes, maybe even 22 minutes, 4-game week next week, we all know the injury situation. It's fine to go in and see what happens.
It's Wendell Carter Jr., center for your Orlando Magic. His rostership did go up last night. I had him at 53%. Yesterday, he's up to 58%. Back from injury again. He had missed 5 straight games with a reoccurring knee issue. For now, coming off the bench with Goga Batazzi starting. But hey, Wednesday night, Carter, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 stocks, which is nice to see because traditionally has not been good at the steals and blocks. Anyway, in 24 minutes, I'm on that continual quest for my third center on a few teams. Only negative is Orlando has 3 games next week, not 4, but kind of assume that Carter is going to gradually earn the bulk of center minutes on this Magic squad.
An old favorite of the show, Mason Plumlee. He's got to be up there, one of the leaders in mentions in our waiver wire segments over the last handful of years. Zubac for the Clippers. Zubac is out with a calf injury for at least 4 weeks. At least 4 weeks is what the report says. And in his place, Mason Plumlee has stepped into the starting lineup, earned a start against the Thunder on January 16th. 28 minutes, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. We know what Mason Plumlee can offer. He can get you some blocks. Not a lot, but if he's playing 25 minutes, he might creep up towards 1 block per game. He can get you some rebounds and maybe get you 10, 11 points per game. That's about it. But if that holds value in your league, I think he's going to be there for the next month.
I like the suggestion, Shannon. Like you mentioned, we all know what he can do when he gets the minutes. So it's good ad. My next suggestion off the waiver wire, he's back, baby. Jeremy Sochan, San Antonio Spurs, 44% rostered. He's back to playing his real position. Look what happens. Ranked 94th over the past 2 weeks, which again, not that exciting, but compared to what he was doing at point guard when we all dropped him, this is better. I said 94th over the past 2 weeks, but I got a 12-game sample where he's averaging 12.9 points, 5.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.4 stocks in 30 minutes a game, which is good because his minutes were up and down a little bit too.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season. Shooting very efficiently. 46, 41, 85. 3-point shooting is awesome. He's taking about 3 a game. The free throw shooting, one hand, awesome. Love it. Spurs with 4 games next week. So I'm willing to just buy in and just, he's definitely a stream. Definitely a stream for this week. We'll see what happens after that.
All right, well, I'm going to continue the theme of cranky old centers. Xavier Tillman, 25-year-old center for your Memphis Grizzlies. Again, Memphis, a team struggling to put a lineup out there because of so many injuries. Tillman's starting and playing huge minutes. He's the only legitimate center on this Grizzly roster. I know I sound like a broken record, but his roster percentage is just too low at 38%. Thursday night, he played 36 minutes, 10 points, 5 boards, 6 dimes, and 2 stocks. Look, last 4 starts, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks. Yes, he has a bad free throw percentage like Plumlee, but like Plumlee, he also takes very few free throw attempts. And Memphis has 4 games next week, so a lot of streaming old guy center options this week.
Well, this is a guy we've talked about this year as well, mostly in a negative light. Andrew Wiggins, Golden State Warriors, 53% rostered on Yahoo. He's been frustrating this year, probably having, if not the worst season of his career, one of the worst. But he's showing signs of life. Over the past 3 games, all 3 starts, which it's been a couple months, he hasn't started 3 games in a row since early December. 3 starts in a row, and these past 3 games also marked the first time this season he has played 30 minutes or more in 3 consecutive games. That's really the most encouraging part of it. Over that 3-game stretch, 31 minutes, 13.3 points, 14.7 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1 block, 1 3-pointer made. We know, like Plumlee, we know what Andrew Wiggins can do. That's 12-team value, most 12-teamers at least, if you're kind of a standard 12-team roster size. That's good enough value. He's creeping up, 102 ranked player over the past week. So he's creeping up in value, and I think he's worth playing and plugging into your lineup until the Warriors decide to switch up their rotation or their starting lineup again.
My last suggestion, Luke Kennard of the Memphis Grizzlies, 19% rostered is my long shot. He started the past 6 games. Over the past 5, he's averaged 13.6 points, 3.8 boards and rebounds each. Or boards and assists each. 3 steals. I can't talk. 3 threes. You know what Luke Kennard does. He hits threes. I don't have to tell you that. Memphis has 4 games next week. Really good chance you get 12 threes out of him. I think he'll continue starting. As to the guy, our listener who asked Jackson or Kennard, the safest option is Kennard. The high upside option is Jackson, but hopefully you don't have to make that decision before tomorrow. See what happens tomorrow with Jackson's minutes. And then, but I assume Kennard's going to continue playing upper 20s to low 30s the rest of the season.
I struggled to find a long shot, so instead I kind of wanted to flag a guy to watch, and that's Bruce Brown, now a Toronto Raptor after that Pascal Siakam trade. Brown's rostered in 63% of leagues, but I think that might go down as people somehow might think his role in Toronto is going to decrease. But hey, he came off the bench last night in his debut, played 25 minutes, 15 points, 7 boards, 1 triple, 1 steal. Look, this is who he's competing with for minutes. Jordan Nwora, Gary Trent, Chris Boucher, and Grady Dick. That's not exactly the 1990s Chicago Bulls there. I think Brown ought to be able to easily carve out 25 to 27 minutes a night. Toronto only has 3 games next week, so I think a lot of folks might drop Brown over the next few days, and I'd say keep an eye out for him and pick him up. I think he will be value rest of season.
Good suggestion, Ken. My long shot of the week is Jabari Walker, forward for the Portland Trailblazers, rostered in 16% of Yahoo leagues. Walker has made back-to-back starts for Portland. Kamara, who had been starting as small forward, is out of the starting lineup. And we've got Shaedon Sharpe, who's out for, I think, the next 10 days to 2 weeks. Right now, for as long as Jabari Walker's in the starting lineup, seeing a healthy amount of minutes, I think he's worth a look in 12 and 14 team leagues. Over those 2 starts, he has played 29.5 minutes, averages of 7.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 1.5 3-pointers. Not much else. It does look like he can hit some threes. He can get some steals based on his per 36 numbers for the year. It's at 1.3 steals, 1 3-pointer, 48.8% from the floor, 77% from the line. So he doesn't really hurt you in those two categories. He's worth a look. Samaki Walker's son, I believe. Give him a look.